All right, so next we're going to jump into the essay. We're sticking with the topic of Civ Pro here. And for time's sake, because I know that the essays can get very long, I'm going to read through the NCBE MEE question, and then I'm going to jump right into the model answer. Now, I will caveat this with I couldn't find a UBE model answer that was available because this is an older one, but I did build my own MEE grading, uh, what's it called? A GPT and ChatGPT to grade my essays for me for quick feedback using criteria based off the NCBE's criteria and off of some just notes I've taken from different bar prep classes on how to like answer an essay very quickly to the point and in a way that still gets you points on the bar exam. So if you're interested in learning more about how to set up your own, you can shoot me a DM on any of my socials. I have a pretty good step-by-step Notion guide that goes through all of it, an accompanying video on YouTube that will tell you at a high level how to get through the setting it up on yourself by yourself. Anyway, all right, let's jump into the question. All right, so we're in Civ Pro, February 2013. Mother and son, who are both adults, are citizens and residents of State A. Mother owned an expensive luxury car valued in excess of $100,000. Son borrowed mother's car to drive to a store in State A. As son approached a traffic light that had just turned yellow, he carefully braked and brought the car to a complete stop. Driver, who was following immediately behind him, failed to stop and rear-ended mother's car, which was damaged beyond repair. Son was seriously injured. Driver is a citizen of State B. Already sensing a little bit of diversity action here. State A versus State B over $75,000. Son sued driver in the U.S. District Court of District State A, alleging that she was negligent in the operation of her vehicle. Son sought damages in excess of $75,000 for his personal injuries, exclusive of costs and interest. In her answer, the driver alleged that son was contributorily negligent in the operation of mother's car. She further alleged that the brake light on mother's car were burned out and that mother's negligent failure to properly maintain the car was a contributing cause of the accident. Okay. I'm immediately thinking like, are they in a contributory contributory negligence jurisdiction? Okay. Following a trial on the merits in Son's case against driver, the jury answered the following special interrogatories. Do you find that driver was negligent in the operation of her vehicle? Yes. Do you find that son was negligent in the operation of mother's car? No. Do you find that mother negligently failed to ensure that the brake lights on her car were in proper working order? Yes. The judge then entered a judgment in favor of son against driver. Driver did not appeal. 2 months later, mother sued driver in U.S. District Court for the District of State A, alleging that driver's negligence in operation of her vehicle destroyed mother's luxury car. Mother sought damages in excess of $75,000, exclusive of costs and interest. State A follows the same preclusion principles that federal courts follow in federal question cases. Okay, so it looks like we're dealing with claim and issue preclusion. Let's see what's next. Okay, the questions, which were, by the way, I usually start with reading the call of the question so I can frame my mind when I'm reading, but forgot to do it here. It's all right. We'll just keep it moving. Question one. Is mother's claim against driver barred by the judgment in son versus driver? Explain. Does the jury's conclusion in son versus driver that mother had negligently failed to maintain the brake lights on her car preclude mother from litigating that issue in her subsequent suit against driver? Explain. Does the jury's conclusion in son versus driver that driver was negligent preclude driver from litigating that issue in mother versus driver lawsuit? Explain. All right, let's see what our model answers say. Number one, mother's claim against driver. Mother's claim is not barred by claim preclusion. Claim preclusion bars a later claim when there is a valid final judgment on the merits, the same parties or their privies, and the same claim arising from the same transaction or occurrence. Claim preclusion also bars claims that could have been brought in the first action. Here, there was a final judgment on the merits in Son versus Driver because the case went to trial and judgment was entered for Son. Mother's property damage claim arises from the same transaction because it arises from the same car accident. But Mother was not a party to Son's suit. Mother and son are family members, but family relationship alone does not create privity. Son was an adult pursuing his own personal injury claim, while Mother was a separate property damage claim for her destroyed car. There are no facts showing that Son represented Mother, that Mother controlled the first lawsuit, or that Mother agreed to be banned. Although Driver may argue Mother could have joined the first action, that does not matter for claim preclusion unless Mother was a party or in privity. Therefore, Mother's claim is not barred. Number 2, finding that Mother negligently maintained the brake lights. Mother is not precluded from litigating whether she negligently maintained the brake lights. Issue preclusion bars relitigation of an issue when the same issue was actually litigated and decided, was necessary to the judgment, resulted in a valid final judgment, and the party to be bound had a full and fair opportunity to litigate. Here, Mother's negligence was actually decided because the jury specifically found that Mother negligently failed to maintain the brake lights. But Mother was not a party to Son's suit. It was not in privity with Son. She did not control the litigation, present evidence, examine witnesses, or choose trial strategy. Because issue preclusion cannot normally bind a party, Mother is entitled to her own day in court. Also, the finding about Mother's brake lights was likely not necessary to the judgment. Son still won against Driver because the jury found Driver negligent and found Son not negligent. The finding that Mother was negligent did not defeat or support Son's judgment in any necessary way. Although Driver may argue the issue was expressly answered by special interrogatory, that is not enough because Mother lacked a full and fair opportunity to litigate and the finding was not necessary. Therefore, Mother is not precluded from litigating her own negligence. All right, and then the final third question. Finding that Driver was negligent. Driver may be precluded from relitigating her negligence, but the court has discretion to deny preclusion because this is non-mutual offensive issue preclusion. Issue preclusion may sometimes be used by a non-party against a party who previously litigated and lost the same issue. This is non-mutual offensive collateral estoppel. Courts allow it only if fair, considering whether the issue was actually litigated and decided, necessary to the judgment, whether the party had a full and fair opportunity to litigate, and whether the new plaintiff could easily have joined the first action. Here, Driver's negligence is the same issue in both cases. It was actually litigated and decided because the jury found Driver negligent. It was necessary to the judgment because Son could not recover from Driver unless Driver was negligent. Driver also had a full and fair opportunity to litigate because she was a party, defended at trial, and did not appeal. However, Mother could likely have joined Son's action. Mother and Son are related. Both are state A citizens, and both claims arose from the same accident. Joinder likely would have been proper because the claims arose from the same transaction or occurrence and shared common questions. Thus, Driver can argue Mother waited to see whether Son won before filing her own suit. Therefore, Driver may be precluded from relitigating negligence, but the court may deny Mother's use of offensive, non-mutual issue preclusion as unfair. All right, a lot to unpack there. Honestly, I think I need to dive in deeper on issue and claim preclusion. It's kind of one of the topics in Civ Pro that I haven't been, it's not my strongest. So that was good practice. And after this, I'm going to go back and review some rules. But all right, enough of bar prep for now. We're going to jump into our bar exam group chat. I've got some funny and motivational stories here for you to hopefully give you a good laugh as you're studying for the bar, but also some motivation that we can do this and we'll get through the pain. All right, here's our first one. Missing wife alert is what I titled this one. This one was taken from Goat Bar Prep's Reddit thread. A guy briefly met a girl at Starbucks near the Albany exam site. He saw her again the morning of the exam, reading bar exam Reddit thread on Safari, creepy, and asked her name, couldn't understand her accent, and so he created a brand new Reddit account on his lunch break during the bar exam to post a missing person alert on Goat Bar Prep. He described her as having big brown eyes like a Snapchat filter and noted she was vaping both times that he saw her. And eventually the moderators for bar exam deleted his thread, but Go Bar Prep kept it up. And the top comment was, "That was me in a wig. Love it." What a funny story if he ends up meeting this girl love found in the most stressful times during the bar exam. All right, our next one, this is live in action. This is from this year. This is about the New Jersey bar. The title of this section is A Blizzard, a Truck Crash, and Free Bar Exam Do-Over. So New Jersey, February 2026, the setup. New Jersey bar examinees for February 2026 showed up to take the bar exam and got hit with not just one, but two disasters before they even wrote a single essay. Day one was delayed because of a blizzard. Then, really listen to this for a second, a truck carrying all of the bar exam materials crashed. They didn't start day one until 2 p.m. Day two was supposed to start at 10 a.m. It also didn't start on time. Scores took forever to come out after that exam. The state has since offered free re-registration to every retaker from that administration. So why is this crazy? People plan their entire lives around the exam window, for those of you who don't know. I'm sure if you're listening to this, you know what that is, but I'm talking like your study schedules, coordinating time to take off work, um, if you have to travel, because most states only offer the exam at certain sites and you're going to have to book a hotel, maybe rent a car, maybe buy flights, maybe buy tickets for a train ride. Like there's so much coordination and prep that goes into taking the exam beyond just showing up on test day. So I think that the fact that it was delayed and that the truck crashed and like, I don't know, maybe allegedly lost some of the exam materials or something like that. Like it's just I feel for the New Jersey retakers. That's what I'll say is like, if you didn't pass, I hope this time you do and that you don't nearly have as many diabolical distractions to like hinder you from an already a stressful time in your life. So here's some of the like comments on here. I think someone put here like seems like someone threatened a lawsuit and didn't want to go through discovery. Yeah, I don't know. That this is a mystery. I'd be curious to hear from people who actually took the New Jersey exam if this Reddit thread is true. I couldn't really find, like, major news reports about it. I kinda wonder if the NCBE, New Jersey State Bar, they probably wanna keep that hush hush, but I just really think that, like, that's insane and very stressful. So good luck to all my New Jersey free takers this time around. Alright, what's our next one here?
Thanks so much for listening. If you found this even remotely useful, please share with another fellow bar exam retaker, and don't forget to subscribe to get notified when new episodes drop. See you next week.